Which is more important to you, your family or your friends? Ah. This is a sensitive question for me as I prefer both in my life. But if you want me to be strict, then I should favor my family. The family is the place where a man begins his life. It is the first institution to teach and socialize. It is more than an institution. The members of a family play the roles of teacher and guide the other members till they get matured. But the scenarios are not similar with friends. You may need friends, but you may not get them when you need them most in your situations. But if you ask for help to your family members, they will be there always to help you. So, they are playing the role of protector as well in life. Besides, the family is taking care of yourself after your birth and been providing with all the necessary services and supports without any conditions or benefits. But sometimes, in my personal experiences, I have seen that many of my friends were with me for their benefits, and when I could not serve them well, they left me. So, in a deep sense, I prefer my family than my friends, but I want to be all of my friends as well. What conflicts can arise between a person's family and a person's friends? This is a thought-provoking issue for me. Yes, there are some situations that when a man has to experience a conflict between family and friends. I think the most prominent conflict might be the issue of being with family or friends. Let's make it clear. You are with your friends, and your mum told you to be at home by evening. But you could not make it go home within the prescribed time and had to experience some bitter words from your mum. It may also happen that she starts banning your movement with your friends. Again, you are with your family and passing a quality time. Your friends are continuously calling you to be with them. You failed to go there. It will also create a sense of misunderstanding among you and your friends. These are the potential and usual conflicts that may arise between friends and family. 2. What responsibilities do parents have towards their children? Well, parents are the best teachers in the world for their kids. So, they should play their roles properly, and the roles are not limited only rearing the children. The parents' first and foremost role is to socialize their kids. Socializing helps the kids to be familiar with the social environment and behave accordingly in different changed situations. Secondly, the children should be taught to be patient over any of the issues and exercise the other human qualities in their real life. By this process, the parents will build a sense of perseverance among the kids and children that will help them to go ahead in their future without having any trouble or compromising with the situations. Besides, the parents should also take necessary measures to educate their children, the other important factor for the kids. Education is the most important thing that a human can gain in life, and if the kids remain uneducated, they surely cannot survive in the absence of the parents. Moreover, the issue of morality should also be considered, and the parents should inject the moral issues among their sons and daughters from the early childhood. When they will be older, it will be impossible to bring them into track if they get morally derailed from the early stage of their lives. 3. What responsibilities do children have towards their parents? The children also have some sort of responsibilities to their parents. The most important issue is that they should abide by all the orders and suggestions without questioning. They have to keep in mind that the parents never want their kids to be harmed in any way. Their love and affection towards the kids are priceless and unique. So, they should also respect parents properly. In the current days, the kids are tending to disobey their parents who are entirely unwanted, and the events should be changed. If the kids follow the orders of their parents, they should be able to shine in future. The blessings they will receive from the parents will help them moving ahead easily in the coming days. Friends. 3. What do you think makes someone a good friend to a whole family? A good person with better interpersonal skill, benevolent nature, amiable behaviors and humorous character can become a really good friend to a whole family. From my experience, I can say that such person has really good communication and interpersonal skills, and that's why they can become close to all family members regardless of their ages. Do you think we meet different kinds of friends at different stages of our lives? In what ways are these types of friend different? Yes, it is quite true. The type of friends we have in different stages of life greatly varies. In childhood, we make friends who live near us or study with us. The number of friends is quite high in childhood, and they are mostly our playmates. We make comparatively fewer friends in schools, and the preference is mostly based on common interests. In university level, we make many friends, but the number starts reducing with age. In old age, we have comparatively fewer friends, but most of them are very close. How easy is it to make friends with people from a different age group? It is not that easy to make friends from different age groups in most of the cases. The age barrier sometimes brings issues that might ruin the friendship. The friendship among people of different age groups in adult age is common, especially when people start their own career, but his is comparatively fewer among students who mostly prefer to make friends of their age. Do you think it is possible to be friends with someone if you never meet them in person? Yes, it is quite possible, and in fact, I have 3-4 friends from different countries whom I have never met. The pen friend is an old trend, and making online friends is a comparatively recent trend. Though in most cases the friendship is not that strong, there are exceptions. Is this real friendship? Definitely. This type of friendship has every sort of bonding and characteristics that a real-life friendship has, except the fact that they do not meet in person. The online and pen friends can share almost anything with each other, communicate frequently, exchange gifts, wish each other, have common interests and topics to talk about, care for each other, and share happiness and sadness. I would say true online or distance friendship is possible even though they do not see each other in person. What kind of influence can friends have on our lives? That's a nice question indeed. I do believe that we can learn about a person from the company he keeps. In other words, we can define someone from the characteristics his/her friends have. From this regards, it is true that friends have enormous influences on our life. They can make our life worth living, they can influence us to become a better or worse person, and they can make the whole difference to a person's life. How important would you say it is to have friends from different cultures? It is quite important in my opinion. Having friends from different cultures gives us excellent opportunity to learn about the cultural diversity. It broadens our perspective and let us experience things and activities which would have otherwise impossible. 4. Meeting. 3. What are the different types of meeting that people often go to? Well, thank you for your smart question. Meeting refers to a gathering of some selected people to ponder over any specific issue. Generally, people need to meet to serve a large number of purposes, and accordingly the meetings have been categorized in several stages and types. But the most notable and common forms of meetings include decision-making meeting, innovation and creative information sharing meeting, status update meeting, problem-solving meeting, usual information sharing meeting, etc. Moreover, the meetings are usually held in two types of environment, formal and informal. When it is about any decision-making or information-sharing meeting, the events are held in formal situations. If the meetings are of less importance, then those are held in informal situations, as like two friends are planning for their next morning trip and they are deciding the entire issue on a street or at the porch of their house. Meetings are organized by different people or organizations, and in that cases and most often those meetings are held in formal environments and joined by the invited people only. But there are some other types of meetings where people of all levels have their access. Whatever the types is, meetings are held to take necessary and important decisions. It is also the way to let the other people know about your feelings and thoughts over any specific issues. The other reason for holding a meeting is that it helps to bring the ideas and innovative aspects over any specific issues. During the meeting session, people discuss different topics and finally appear to a conclusion that is agreed by all the members present at the meeting. Thereby, people have to go for attending meeting frequently. Some people say that no one likes to go to meetings, What do you think? Um. The statement is partially true for a majority of the people. It happens mostly as the participants have to wait or sit silently in a meeting session. They cannot express their feelings or share their ideas frankly at the meeting. So, they feel embarrassed. But the situation is different for the people who are liable for conducting the meeting. They are to be occupied with lots of responsibilities and activities. They cannot point out that the meeting is boring or uninteresting. So, it appears that the view about attending a meeting is different and the intentions to attend meetings change based on the participants' perspectives. In fact, when you will be responsible for arranging a meeting, you will need to be aware of each and everything of the meeting. You have to be careful about the participants, availability of the logistics, venue and other necessary arrangements. But if I consider the meeting from the perspective of a participant who has nothing to do except sitting idly, it would appear highly uninteresting. Further, in some cases, the meetings turn lively provided that the contexts or agendas are interesting. When the participants have their own interests and hold the meeting, all of them are seen active, naturally, as they are to gain their benefits. But, if the issue is about collective interests, some of the participants are seen less responsive. And in that case, they do not like attending the meetings. So, I think when people have some sort of benefits, they turn eager to attend, and if they are to decide something with due responsibilities, they try to skip lest they suffer the negative consequences, if any. Why can it sometimes be important to go meetings? Yes, sometimes it becomes important to attend meetings for many reasons. Usually, meetings are held to take important decisions over many issues. When people need to take important decisions over any specific issues, they arrange for meeting with the relevant stakeholders or partners in their respective workplaces or sectors. When few people gather in a place to take decisions, they discuss the recent important matters and exchange ideas to reach to a perfect solution. For instance, you need to take an important decision at your office, and you cannot take that alone. You cannot take the decision alone for several reasons, and the first thing is that you are not authorized to take the decision, but the required authority is also absent at the same time. If the decision is not made instantly, that may cause organizational damage. In such case, you are inviting everyone to attend a meeting. This is important. People who are invited have to attend there because this is important. In fact, the level of importance depends on the situations. When it is an emergency, you cannot ignore or skip the meetings. In such cases, if you ignore the meeting call, you might have to regret later for not being at the meeting table. Emergencies are unwanted and uninvited. However, they have turned the part of human life. So, it is important to respond to such situations and to attend meetings. Why do you think leaders often have meetings together? Well, leaders are the individuals who lead the organizations or working bodies. They are leaders because they own the leading capacities which the common people do not possess. As a result, they are different. But it should be kept in mind that as human beings, they also have some sort of limitations, and as a direct result, they are to act like the normal human beings sometimes. They need to meet often in meeting sessions to decide over important issues which are prioritized based on their level and importance. Usually, the leaders own some special qualities and they utilize their intellects to perform their best. So, when they meet together, they discuss and share ideas. But sometimes they need to meet together for their own benefits. For instance, there are 5 leaders in an organization and one of them is suffering from his production output. So, he may ask suggestions or helps to the remaining 4 leaders, and all of them will sit for a meeting at a convenient hour. It helps them to exercise their intellects and sharpen their wits and abilities. Moreover, the decisions that come out of such meetings are outstanding. If they had discussed the issues or problems with the ordinary people, I bet they would not have got such unique solutions. Moreover, it is another way to build a cordial relation among them out of their professional life. What possible difficulties might be involved in organizing meetings between world leaders? Yes, It sounds great to arrange a meeting among the world leaders. I can imagine that all the global leaders are discussing different issues and matters of mutual interests with each other. Passing busy time and attending conferences, releasing their statements before the press and more other issues. Well, it is very good to dream so, but it is difficult indeed to arrange such meetings. The key difficulty is the scheduling. The global leaders, like the state chiefs of different countries, are highly occupied with their respective countries and internal issues. They have preset plans and calendars to follow, and they cannot break the rules even if they want. If they break a preset appointment, it becomes difficult for the leader to arrange or allocate time to the same party again into a separate calendar. Besides, the party desiring to meet the leader also becomes disappointed. It is, in fact, the violation of decency. So, the leaders do not take such risks, as it brings defame to them as well. As a result, it becomes difficult to arrange a global meeting in presence of the global leaders. But, sometimes, when situations occur, they break the pre-schedules to attend the emergency meetings. When the UN organized global summit or conferences, they take schedule from all the global leaders and accordingly set plans and events so that the events appear convenient to the leaders. Secondly, the political situations in countries are not the same, and the global leaders cannot be reached due to political conditions. Moreover, the meeting venue is another important thing to consider in this aspect. The venue needs to be convenient for all the participants, and security is a great issue. When all such issues are met perfectly, the global leader meet, and it is very hard and complicated indeed to arrange so. Do you think that meetings between international leaders will become more frequent in the future? Or will there be less need for world leaders to meet? Thanks for your thought-provoking question. I do not think that meeting among the international leaders will be frequent in the future days. This is the age of science and technology. A substantial advancement has been achieved in the sector of communication, and people living in the remotest part of the planet could be reached within seconds. Virtual communication has brought about a revolutionary change in the society, and accordingly the international leaders now do not need to meet individually in any preset place to meet and discuss issues or situations periodically. Now they can meet virtually using various communication technologies. Consequently, they will meet less in person and will keep in touch with the virtual communication. Moreover, the virtual communication is free of all forms of troubles and save time and money. Thereby, I think it would be one of the leading communication modes to move ahead in line with the world. Influences on the young. What type of people influence the young in your country? Well, thank you very much for asking such an important question. Usually, the youths are influenced by the teachers, and sometimes they follow their immediate superiors. Most of the time they are out of the home, and thus they do not have any close connection with their parents. When they are not in close contact, they do not show the urge to the directions of the parents. But the scenario is opposite for the teachers and superiors. The youths spend most of their times at the educational institutions with their teachers, mates and seniors. So, they are greatly influenced by the teachers and their seniors regarding their attitude and learning skills. But the youth issues are of great concern for the parents and the society as well. The rate of unemployment in Australia has decreased to some extent in this year, but it does not refer that the issue has been solved yet. The unemployed youths are covering a large portion of the total population, and they are engaged into different unwanted and unethical activities sometimes, whereas they are not supposed to get involved so. Though the rate of such unwanted events is not rapidly increasing, but it is still an alarming issue for all. Why is it important to have role models? Youths always want to follow. They experience a new world before them when they are out of their homes and consequently get influenced by the external facts. They need to have role models for several reasons. I think you have the idea how the youths are influenced by movies or songs and the people who are performing in the movies. When they see something negative, they try to imitate the negative issues in their real life, and as a result invite disorders for them with their family and friends. For instance, if they see someone smoking on television or on cinema, I can bet they will follow the smoking style immediately after enjoying the movie or the specific television series. They get highly influenced and take them as role models for them. I'm talking about a negative aspect of role model that will teach them how to smoke cigarettes. But it could be used for positive aspects as well. When they will see someone of their ages is having an award for outstanding contribution to any social sector and the issue will be publicized, they will be inspired to be like the award-winning youths. Therefore, since they are out of control of the parents and influenced by the role models, I think it is important to create more and more role models for them. Do you think the education system in your country influences young people's behavior? Yes. Education has many things to do with the behavior of the young people. The educational system in Australia does not teach the student to read and write only, it also plays a great role to socialize the students. The course curriculums are made in different ways to teach them the right manners in different situations. But there are some youths, wicked by nature, do not follow the learning. The entire education system is formed in a way that if the students follow the system properly, they would be considered as assets for the country. But in reality, the scenario is different. Sometimes the learning process is not easier as it is imagined. Besides, the teachers are cordial in spreading the learning and in many of the cases the students are unwilling to learn. As a result, the education cannot play its role in making law-abiding citizens. I think you are well informed about the issue that education is a two-way process and pushing knowledge on the students cannot bring the desired outcomes. They are also to be willing in learning newer attitudes and behaviors through the educational system. What types of person, parents, teachers, friends, etc., are best to influence young people's behavior? As I said before, the teachers are the best people to influence the young people and their behavior. They usually imitate the attitudes and behaviors of the teachers, and in some exceptional cases, they follow their friends. I think you will agree on the point why they are not influenced by the parents after my answer of your previous question. Parents cannot control their kids as they stay less time at homes and spend more on out-of-home activities. They have a close interaction with the teachers and friends. When the teachers order them to do any specific thing, they perform the tasks happily while this is not possible for their parents to make them do. What do you think young people will be most influenced by in the future? Great question for me. Well, you know that the ages are advancing. With the advancement, the kids and youths are getting changed too. When you were a youth in your time, the global setting was not the same as it is today being experienced by the youths of the current days. Further, the global setting will be changed in the future as well. Thereby, it is hard to predict how the youths will be influenced in the coming days. But I think it would be the mass media that will have the largest portion of influence on the youths. The idea crossed my mind. Due to the use of social networking websites, spending time on watching television events, reading the news websites on cell phones etc. are on the rise among the youths.